as you could see, I already have my foundation and concealer applied, so I thought we could just move along and try out some new makeup products. Well, new makeup products to me anyways. So I haven't set my face yet with powder, so I want to try out this Benefit Girl Meets Pearl, Liquid Pearl for face. So I believe it is a liquid highlight. Let's see. And this is what it looks like. So you just take off this little cap, and I believe you just twist it up and it should come out, right? Oh, there we go. I don't know if I'm supposed to, I don't think I'm supposed to apply this directly to my face. So I'm just gonna do it on the back of my hand. This is what it looks like, and I'm just gonna apply it with my damp sponge. So I'm gonna hit like the high points of my face. So it looks like it's kind of like a light gold champagne-y highlight. Oh no, it just peeled off my concealer. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Oh no, so far we're not off to a good start. It's because my last video testing out makeup products went so well, like this one probably won't. No, it's doing it on this side too. Dang it. So maybe this would be a good product to apply underneath everything, because it doesn't seem like it's doing very well. It is not sitting very well on top of foundation and concealer. I'll try and apply it with my finger, but I mean, I really like the shade of it, but it is not going on very well on top right here. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's peeling off my concealer that I have right here. So I'm just gonna apply it with my finger and then go over it with a sponge. I mean, it seems like it's going on everywhere else fine. It's just right there. It does not want to go on top of that concealer. But it is a really pretty shade. It's like a dewy highlight look, kind of. I don't know, maybe this would be good for one of those no makeup days if you just wanted to wear moisturizer and then put this on and then spray your face with like a dewy setting spray and call it a day. But yeah, it's not going on very well on top of foundation. Next, I'm going to set my face with this loose powder. I think I got it as a Sephora Point Perk, but I'm not sure. This is the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. And it reminds me, just by looking at it in the container, it reminds me of the Makeup Forever HD powder, which I don't remember how I feel about that, but I don't think I really liked it. So I just put about that much in the cap, and I'm just going to set my under eye with my sponge, and then I'll set the rest of my face. I always get nervous trying out new loose powders. And I always feel like loose powders always like darken up my under eye. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that happens too. So it definitely took all the glow away, and I'm trying to stay away from the liquid highlighter, so I wanted to get that powder right up underneath my eye, but yeah, it definitely darkened it up, I think. I just went ahead and put some more in the cap, and then I'm just gonna set like the outer parts of my face where I'm gonna apply like my bronzer and blush. I feel like I got too much on the side. I mean, it doesn't seem to be altering the shade of my foundation, but it definitely made my under eyes darker. And I feel like it's gonna emphasize like dry patches, which I have a lot right now. Let's see. I feel like I feel a little bit sticky still, but I think it's gonna be okay. It definitely made my skin feel smooth where I set it. I don't really know how I feel about this. I think it made my skin look okay. Like, I think I prefer this definitely more on my face and not for my under eye. So for bronzer, I'm going to be trying out this Estee Edit by Estee Lauder. This is the Barest bronzer, and I have the shade Light Medium, and I really like this packaging. It's huge. It has a huge mirror, which I'm probably going to use for my eyeshadow, and then this is what it looks like. So I guess if you wanted to stay on this side, you could keep your bronzer more matte, but if you wanted more of a luminous bronzer, you could swirl it around, which today I want like a luminous bronzer, so I'm just gonna swirl the whole thing. Oh, it looks like it was like an overspray, actually. So it's like a one-time use. And I'm just gonna use my Morphe E3 just to bronze up my face. And I think I'm going to bronze up my face a lot because my foundation is a little bit too light for the rest of my body. So I'm going to kind of darken it up a little bit. So to me, this just looks like a neutral bronzer, but when it goes on the skin, it kind of has like a warm feeling to it. A warm look to it. And yeah, that little gold spot is completely gone. So it's definitely a one-time use. And I don't plan on really contouring today, so I am going to load up on the bronzer. I don't know, do I dare use this to contour my nose? I think we should just try it. I have so many dry patches. Oh my gosh, I've been moisturizing and exfoliating like crazy and I cannot get these dry patches to go away. I think like the sunscreen that I've been spraying on my face before I go in the pool is drying out my skin. That has to be it. But this actually doesn't look too bad. I never use bronzers to contour my nose. Like I always use like a gray undertone contour shade, but this actually doesn't look too bad. Moving on to blush, I'm going to be trying out this Pretty Vulgar blush in the shade Hush Blush. And it says number 18, but they do sell this at Sephora. And I really like the shade because I feel like it's one of those shades that would go with any eye makeup look or any makeup look you wanted to do. It's kind of like that nudie pink shade. And I'm going to use my Morphe E4. Ooh, I just dipped in there once and that's like a whole cheek. I went a little overboard as always. I feel like I always have such a heavy hand with blush, like I cannot help myself. It's a really pretty color. I could definitely see myself grabbing this a lot. So I'm just going to try to blend that out with my Makeup Academy stippling brush. I think it blended out nicely. Man, I do not like that liquid highlighter. I feel like it totally ruined my concealer. Ugh. I like the shade of it, but it ruined my makeup. So if you do have a heavy hand like me, it's okay, just blend it out. For highlighter, I'm sure I'm the only person left in the world that has not tried this out, even though I bought it when it first launched. I know, oh my gosh, story of my life. This is the Smashbox times Casey Holmes Spotlight palette. I have the shade Pearl. I wish I would have gotten the gold one. I think you could still buy this, but if I remember, I think she said that it was like a limited time where her name would be on it and then they were just going to take her name off and still sell the palette. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I heard. So you open it up and you get 3 shades, and if I remember right, I think she said that these 2 are the main highlights, and then if you want to make it more intense, you use the 3rd shade. So I'm just going to use this first shade right here first. We'll see how it goes. I really want to get the gold one. Ooh, that's really pretty. It's like a really pale gold. So now I'm going to go in with the 3rd shade just to make it more intense, even though I like how it looks like that, but I just want to see. And I'm just going to apply that right here in the center on the highest point. Well, bam! That is intense. Wow, I feel like this is going to be my new go-to highlight. Moving on to eyes, I'm going to be trying out this Cargo eyeshadow palette right here. This is the Emerald City eyeshadow palette. I haven't tried anything from Cargo. So when you open it up, you do get a mirror and a little brush. Let's see. So these are the shades right here. I think I'm just going to do like a light green look. So I'm going to stick with these 4 shades right here because my shirt is green and I think it might be fun. And this brush, yeah, no, I don't even think I'm gonna even try to use it. It feels like super plasticky. So I'm gonna use this shade right here called Fairy as my transition shade. It's kind of like a gray taupey shade. It's not super pigmented, but I like it as a transition shade. I feel like this is one of those shades that you could throw in for no makeup day, or if you just wanted something in your crease, because I do like how it looks. So I'm going to switch to my finger. Man, this is really hard to show you guys. I'm going to switch to my finger and I'm going to apply this Mount Rainier, and I'm going to apply that all over the lid. Now I'm just going to switch to a more dense blender brush and dip my brush in there just so I can blend that up into my crease. You know, I didn't really have high hopes for this palette, mainly because I haven't really heard anybody talk about Cargo products, but this is actually pretty good. And then I'm going to go back in with Fairy and just kind of dust that back in above the crease. Now I'm going to go with the color Fremont, and it's the darker green in the palette, and I'm just going to focus that on my outer V. I love these green shades, and everything is blending out really nice. I'm going to pop a little bit of Fremont into my inner corners as well, kind of do like a halo eye. And I feel like they look really metallic in the pan, but they go on more of like a matte. But I feel like if you got your brush wet, you would get that metallic look. But I kind of like how this looks. And then I'm just going to lightly connect them, the outer to the inner corner. It's weird, like normally I don't like an all over shimmery eye, but I really like how this is looking. Just to make the center of my lids pop, I'm going to go in with the shade called The Hill, and I'm going to apply that with my finger. I think I am going to get my brush wet for this shade because I really want the center of my lids to pop. I'm just using a little bit of MAC Fix Plus and my favorite brush to apply like any kind of metallic shimmer, glitter, whatever. This is my MAC 242. I can't believe I underestimated this palette. Oh my gosh. And just like looking at it, it doesn't look like a palette that I would want to grab all the time, but like I'm obsessed with this little green look I just did. Ooh, I have an even better idea too. So I'm going to try to build this up in the center. So I'm going to go in with this top shimmer shade right here, and it's called Northwest. I'm going to apply a tiny, tiny bit right in the center, just to give the look a little more of like a three-dimensional look. I swear I can never close this eye like I can my other one. I love this so far. I'm just going to pack on some more of that Fremont, that dark green on the inner and outer corners, because I kind of blended it away when I was applying that center shade, and then a little bit on the top. By the way, I was not planning on doing a smoky eye, and that totally happened. I'm going back in with Fairy. I keep saying fairy or furry. What am I saying? Going back in with the shade we use for our transition, and I'm just going to buff like around the top because I want just a little bit more color up there. So I'm going to go back in with the shade Northwest, and I'm going to use that as a brow highlight. I should have filled in my brows. I like never do eyeshadow before I do brows, and I did. And I'm going to also use that as an inner corner highlight. Oh, I did get a little bit of that dark green in that inner corner. So I'm just going to take the dark green Fremont shade again. I'm going to press it up against my lower lash line. And then I'm going to blend it out with the Mount Rainier shade, which is the shade we put all over the lid. Now I'm just going to take a tiny bit of Fairy, which is a transition shade, and I'm just going to buff that right underneath those two green shades. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows, and I'll be right back. So I decided I'm not going to put on any false lashes today, and I want to try out this Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara. I've tried the Better Than Sex regular one, and I really liked it. I did only purchase it once, and I never repurchased it. I can't really remember why, but I do know I liked it. I think I probably just like tried too many mascaras and forgot about it, if I'm being honest. So I really want to try this. This is so cute. It has like water droplets on it. I love how it feels, and I love how it looks. So I'm just going to curl my lashes. I love waterproof mascara if I'm not wearing falsies, because I feel like waterproof mascara helps keep my lashes lifted as opposed to using like regular mascara. So it's the exact same brush as the original Better Than Sex. I feel like it's not giving me as much volume as I wanted. Mine also feels like super dried out. It's definitely making my lashes like thicker. It's not necessarily making them longer, but so the more you work with it, the more they start to like kind of clump together. I'm getting like a weird lash, but it doesn't look bad. I feel like the more times I stick the wand into the tube, the more like clumpy the wand is getting, and if you can see the top part of the mascara, it's just kind of like collecting. Okay, remind me to never use this for lower lash mascara. Thank goodness I've got a lot of darkness underneath there, because this wand is too big to fit underneath there, and I made like a huge mess. So this eyeliner isn't new to me, but I need something in the waterline, so I'm just going to take this Maybelline Lasting Drama waterproof gel pencil in the shade Glossy Emerald, and I'm just going to run that in my waterline. So for this being a waterproof mascara, like I said, it went on kind of dry, but I just touched my lashes and they're still like wet. Normally when I use waterproof mascara, it dries really, really fast. So I guess while that's drying, we'll move on to lips. So for lips, I'm going to be trying out this Kat Von D lip liner. This is the Everlasting lip liner in the shade Homegirl. I've never tried any of her lip liners before. Oh, that's pigmented. I'm just going to start off with that much for now because I don't want to do my whole mouth because I'm not sure how it's going to look with this lipstick I picked out. So this is from Lorac and this is called Daydreamer. Love the packaging. I love Lorac lipsticks, but I have not tried this volume and it smells so good. So creamy and so pigmented. I'm going to use a brush so I don't go too crazy. I didn't think this lip liner and lipstick would go together, but when I blend it out, it looks pretty good. So I'm going to apply a little bit more of the lip liner. I was not expecting to do this dramatic of a look today, but I'm not mad at it. I did overline this side just a tad bit too much, but you know, once you put on dark lipstick and you mess up, there is no going back. Man, it's like I don't want to set my face with setting spray because I don't want to do it until my mascara is completely dry. Doesn't seem like it's going to be dry anytime soon, so let's go ahead and go over everything. So the first thing I tried out was this Benefit Girl Meets Pearl Liquid Pearl for Face. I do really like the shade of this, and I liked how it looked all over the rest of my face, just not on my concealer. So I think this is a product that you would want to mix in with your foundation if you're dry. I think if you had oily skin, you'd probably be just fine. But since I do have dry patches, it kind of pulled off my foundation and concealer wherever those dry patches were. So, do I see myself reaching for this in the near future? Not necessarily, unless like how I was saying that I would like it if I just had moisturizer on, pop this on the high points of my face and then ran out the door. But then I tried out the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. I really liked how this was on my face, but I will never set my under eyes with this again because I feel like it just darkened up my under eyes, and I love a super bright under eye. Then I tried out this Estee Lauder Estee Edit bronzer. I love the shade of this, and I am normally like a more neutral, true bronzer and not necessarily a warm bronzer, but I really like how this looks. So I really like this. Then we tried out the Pretty Vulgar blush. Love the shade of this, and I love how I had a heavy hand, but I was able to blend it out. Then my favorite thing from this testing out new makeup is the Smashbox Casey Holmes The Pearl Palette. This is going to be my new go-to highlighter for sure. Next, I tried out this Cargo Cosmetics The Emerald City Palette. I actually really like this, and I'm excited to keep playing with it. I absolutely love this eyeshadow look, like love it. Then for lips, I tried out the Kat Von D Everlasting Lip Liner in the shade Homegirl. This is so pigmented, but I love how it looks with this lipstick. I really love this lip liner. I have a few colors, so I'm excited to try those, but I love this. Then for lipstick, I tried out the Lorac lipstick in the shade Daydreamer. This is such a pretty, like, purpley fuchsia shade. I really like it. I love this lip combo. I think it looks so good. My least favorite thing from this video is the Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara. I don't really like this, and I don't like how it's waterproof and my lashes are still wet, and normally when I use waterproof mascara they dry instantly. So I think this is my least favorite thing. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me test out some new makeup products. If you've tried any of these makeup products, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video.